Hey guys, it's Guido. I got a coffee talk supplemental for you today because something kind of interesting has happened. If you pay attention to Reddit at all, or even the forums, you've probably heard that a guy got caught pretty much blatantly rigging matches to try to work on his chieftain. So whether he was going for missions for one of the prize tanks, or whether he was trying to three mark, or what he was doing, we're going to go over that. But I wanted to start off by saying that, as a general rule, I steer away from stuff like this. I try to be the no drama channel. I understand that this is going to be a bit of clickbait, and that's fine because the subject matter to me is important. And as a general rule, I don't really care too much if people are cheating around the edges, and that's not me in any way, shape, or form advocating cheating. But I understand it goes on, and bringing the torch and mallet to every single person who does it and deleting their account is not the answer. So that's a bit draconian. But when it's blatant and when it bones over an entire match, as in every person in the match, so that somebody can work on their pixel tank for whatever reason it is, that's irritating. And I think the big one is if people are attempting to make money off this, build up accounts and sell them and garbage like that. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but it's one of the possibilities. It's one of the things that would incentivize people to do this kind of garbage. And it can be anything from I want that status pixel tank to I want to make money. I don't know what the guy's motivation was. It doesn't really matter. Because for me, it's screwing over the 30 people in the game, or in this case, the 30 minus 6, because it took 6 of them to do this. Whether there were actual 6 humans behind each account, I don't know. Some of the tanks are moving, some aren't. Who knows what's going on here? This could be people, I don't know where. Anyway, making accusations, it is what it is. But for me, it's a PSA for everybody, because one of the things I've been critical to Wargaming about quite a bit is their reaction to these kinds of things. And I will continue to do so on that until we start to get some kind of transparency. And I'm not saying we are owed every answer, obviously not. Clearly they can continue to do what they do and not change a single thing. It's not going to stop me from playing the game, but it does need to be noted and it should be talked about. Because if people continue to do this and feel like there's no real repercussions for it, a la the T-22 fiasco, which is still a piece of sand in my craw, then we're going to keep getting it. It'll keep popping up, people keep doing it, and it's interesting because this happened at the same time that we've got people basically rigging Steel Hunter, because they can. I will tell you that Wargaming has eyes on, at least from the community standpoint, the community guys at Wargaming, the people I actually interface and talk with, they are talking about it, they are aware. I don't have any kind of inside information past that. Clearly, they wouldn't tell me that. They have jobs. I'm not claiming I have it. I don't have it. That's not the point of this. So we're going to look at this from a gamer's perspective, from you and I, looking at this, clicking in, trying to play a World of Tanks pixel tank game. And then what is it that then we feel between us and the company when we see this happen, and then we don't really have any idea what happened to this person, other than the kind of boilerplate, it was taken care of. Okay, well, this one is big enough and public enough that Wargaming, maybe there needs to be some other kind of communication between you and the players. And I said this over and over again with the T-22 fiasco, which is essentially the same thing. And really nothing was done. In fact, most of those people are still in the game. As a matter of fact, they've all got their T-22s. Now that's digging up the dead, right? That which is dead will never die kind of thing. But the problem with that is this is a very similar situation, and now you've got a decision to make on how to handle it. That sort of sounds like an ultimatum. That's not the point of this in any way, shape, or form. That's not what my channel's about. But I think it's important that as a PSA, we sort of look at this and say, all right, what's going on here? What are the incentives for doing this? How do we disincentivize this? More than we have to begin with, because clearly it's not working. Clearly it's not working. So let's get into this. This showed up, I'll put the link down in the description, on Reddit. That's where I first became aware of it. And it was a post, and the person that was doing the rigging, let's just say alleged rigging. I'm going to show you the videos or replays. You make your own determination. I'll give you my opinion. You go from there. If you've got another plausible explanation, then good on you. Throw it down in the comments. I'm willing to take a look at it. But the claim on Reddit, on the post, was here is an example of somebody rigging the Chieftain, the new Tier 10, relatively new Tier 10 award tank for Clan Wars. And then he had 2 examples, and then somebody else piped in and said, "Hey, I ran into this same crowd." And you'd look at them and you go, "It is the same crowd." First of all, it's the same player playing the main tank that gets all the damage, and then some of the supporting cast are the same people with a couple changes, but I think it's 2 of the same guys on the supporting cast through the whole thing, both on the platoon that is with the rigger and the platoon that is against him, basically. Or not against him, feeding the fight, feeding the damage. So on Reddit, that's where I became aware of it. I got the replays. They put them onto replays.eu, wattreplays.eu, so you can see them. I'll leave those links as well if you want to take a look at them. In the meantime, the player in question has changed his name. I know his new name. At least I think I know his new name. It's there in the thread. I'm not going to put it here. You can go look at the thread if you want. There's a link. You do your own investigation, figure it out. So I have a good idea of who he is now. And I don't know what any sanctions were. That's what I know. I know Wargaming community guys know. I don't know what their service, right? I will spit it out. I do not know what their customer service guys have done. But let's just look into the facts and talk about moving the person's name out of it, what this basically does to the game and to the people who are playing, especially in those particular matches, but really writ large. All right, so let's take a look at this. Make sure I've got this sorted out so that I don't show things I don't want to show. All right, I'm going to show his actual name in the game because you're going to see it anyway. But this right here is the guy. So if we look at this, we go, wow, we got an average player, decently skilled, 1200 win rate around 50%, okay, who's really doing well lately. In the last 1,000 battles, actually, quite well. That may indicate he's actually got a little better, right? 3240. In the past 24 hours, a 6,800. In the past 7 days, a 7,258. Well, that's interesting. So what tanks has he used? And his name was KZ__. Oh, look. In that day that's one battle. Let's actually use this because that's better. That's 56 battles. He's played the 430U, the 4201, and the EBR 105. The EBR apparently just ran around once, but these 40 battles and 35. And wow, look at those win rates. Wow. That's some good work. That's some good work. Both of these tanks are going to star in the replays that we look at. So a little bit fishy right off the bat. Could be a player that just really got good in the last little while. Okay, fair enough. His recent's at 59. He's got some good recent win rate. But wow, he's really been trucking along here. 7,000 damage per game and 6,396 damage per game. That is some good stuff right there, man. Old KZ has really been doing a bang-up job in the last, 56 battles. So congratulations to him. Or has he? Or has he? All right, so the other, I think I have covered it, yeah. So the other side of the story is the new place that he's landed. Oh, look, same numbers. Hopefully I didn't give away his name on here somewhere, but too bad if I did. I tried to hide it. You know, it was kind of a perfunctory effort. But anyway, wow, there you go. There's the same guy. But as a side note, not saying this has anything to do with rigging, but he does have a 260. So let's just say that. And the reason I bring that up is once you're caught doing this kind of thing, then everything else you've done comes into question. It's an integrity thing, right? And he may say, hey, man, I really did the 260 missions. That was hard. I got it done. I did this rigging for X, Y, or Z. Well, the problem with that, bro, is that you have your integrity is now in question, right? You've been caught red-handed, at least in my opinion. And all of a sudden, everything's on the table, right? Now everything's on the table. All right, but let's just stick to the events at hand. We have 3 replays. We've got the replay from T23E is Love is Life, and we look on this and we go, wow, man, look at this. The Chieftain did 6,264. All right, so he's got a good result. Good job. All right, good job. And we come over here and we look at this, and this time he's driving, and this one is from Westy, the other guy that chimed in, and this time he's driving that Object 430U that he did so well in, and he's got 8,000 with a good good stuff. You'll notice that this isn't all within about the same hour. And then we come over here, and we got another one, and we go, wow, how did he do with the third game? 11,000. That's a great game. Well, let's see these great games, shall we? Let's move on, and let's see these great games. All right, here we are on the first one with the T57. This is T23, E is Love is Life from Petco, and he's sent in this replay. He's driving his T57, and we can see that on his team we have a couple platoons. One of the platoons is an IS-7 with old Gordon 514, the accomplice, KZ, the T95, and his buddy Vetera in his Batchat 25T. Again, who knows if these are all actually people or if these are being sock puppeted or what's going on with these accounts. What you'll note, there's another platoon on there of 2. They don't really play into it from Cube. So over here we've got old Dogleg D in his mouths, and Gerald Culp also in his mouths in platoon, and AHJ2 from RH in platoon 2 as well. So these guys are going to be a bit of a thing for the next 3 games that we're going to show you that happen in roughly an hour or so. So we are here on whatever this place is called, as I always forget, Serene Coast, and the T97 is driving along. Now we've got that FV4201 T95. Old KZ is rushing forward to get that damage, right? He wants to win this game. He's going to take his heavy tank. He's going to get into the forefront. This is not a bad place for that heavy tank. Good gun depression. Nice gun. Good turret. So he should do pretty well over here. Let's see what happens here. And who should show up first? Oh, look. It's AHJ2 and his Centurion AX. And he's going to take on old KZ. Well, KZ got some of that hit point. Takes a little arty hit, and KZ moves on. Well, the Centurion, and I want you to look at that theme. The theme of the Centurion AX showing up in front of KZ immediately is going to continue. So KZ comes up here and goes hold down. No doubt talking to his buddies. Realize Amal's is kind of slow. The mill takes a big hit right there. And what's going to end up happening in general is we will farm these 3 guys on the sock puppet account, or the sock puppet platoon, or the whatever you want to call them, the accomplice platoon. There we go. Look at the old Gerald Culp. He's gone hold down, and he's just pointing his flat plate turret right at good old KZ, so he can just start shooting some gold through there. I wonder how mad KZ was that our friend T23 is Love was actually farming some of those hit points from him right there. But look at that Mal's, man. He's just really doing some good work, rocking him back and forth, just trying to avoid the kill from old KZ. Good job, KZ. That was an amazing kill. Well done. I'm surprised the Mal's was actually killed that fast with the amount of maneuver and effort he was making right there. So there we go. Yep, just shoot me right in the old face, KZ. Thanks, man. Dogleg. Come on, Dogleg. You can do it. Shoot back, buddy. Come on, my friend. Dogleg. Dogleg. Shoot somebody, buddy. Come on now. No, I guess not. I think it's kind of justice that the T57 was able to come in here and out-farm the farmer. Old KZ blocks one as he goes by, probably by accident. And all of a sudden the Maus, both Maus, Dogleg D, Gerald Culp, and AHJ rushed forward, sat there and stared at the T95 and died. All right, so we have a one-off here, right? There's one example. Well, I'm about to show you 2 more of the exact same thing. So we'll get to that part. So if you want to try to say, well, you know, it's just one of those things. Well, it's not one of those things, not when you've got 3 examples of it. But writ larger for me, going back to what I talked about initially, about how it bones 30 people minus 6 clowns. So let's call it 24 people. I was going to get into insulting, but we'll try to leave that alone as much as possible. 24 people are trying to play a game. I don't know what their situation is. They're trying to relax. They love the game. They're grinding something themselves. They're trying to, I don't know. There's a million reasons why. But these 6 clowns show up here with their reason, and their reason is to rig battles for this T95 guy, which absolutely screws over the rest of the team because the tier 10 platoon is dead first and farmed, and it is all over but the shouting. All over but the shouting. The T95 will go on to get a lot more damage. Why? Because he's killed the worst threat there is. Now he's going to take his tier 10 and rage around and gobble up more damage. So past this point, he's playing his honest best game from here, but he's already farmed and set the stage for absolutely annihilating the rest of the enemies out there. So there's the first example, and really my biggest reason for doing this is a PSA on how hard it screws over the players. So that's my point then to wargaming, that this genie's out of the bottle now, guys. There needs to be something done, and I'm sure there will be, but there really also needs to be some kind of communication. Maybe not necessarily specifically what was done to this person, but reiterating, other than saying, hey, reference the rules of the game. I got it, man. But the rules of the game were there when this match started, and now these guys have counted in and done this to 24 other players, and it looks bad. It looks bad. And I understand I'm fanning the flames a little bit here, but the problem for me is how you always respond to it, which is crickets. It's crickets. So let's look at the second example. Here's our second example set in by Westy from Clan Sucks. I'm sorry, Westy. That cracks me up. Good clan name, man. He's in his ELC even 90. And what do we have here? We have KZ, our buddy. This time he's in his 430U. Remember how well that one was doing in the last 7 days or whatever it was? He is platooned with ACY 89, so that's a new one. And also Tactical Onion, which is a 277. So we'll watch what they do. Looking at the enemy platoon, we've got Dogleg D. Hey, he's back. And Gerald Culp. Hi, Gerald. How you doing, buddy? And a new guy, Markwa 64. So I said there were 6 involved. There's more involved, isn't there? Obviously. Now you might say, hey, Guido, whatever, man. If I'm playing tier 10 platoon over a couple hours and another group of 3 are playing a tier 10 platoon, I'm probably going to match up with them quite a bit. Noted. You're absolutely right. And in a low server population, that happens a lot. I see that constantly. And when you're talking tier 10, more than likely you're going to end up on the other side, right? Not on the same side. So there is that as well. I got it. But do you see 3 times in a row where what's about to happen happens exactly the same? Now that's a little bit fishy, isn't it? That is a little bit fishy, especially when it's the same guys. All right, so here we go. And this one's a little bit harder. I'll try to keep a little eye on what's going on. And Flex Air gives a little shot. I guess he's just trying to say hi. There goes the Tactical Onion. There goes KZ. KZ's driving right up to the middle. Man, he's going to take his tank up there, help his team out. Let's see how old KZ does. Headed right up to the middle. I wonder who will show up first. What do you guys think? Who will be the first guy to get shot? I don't know. Oh, right. The Leopard 1, who's nice and fast and is the farming platoon. Now, this is kind of interesting to me. I don't know if they really did this right. If I was thinking about how I would rig this thing, I might go someplace where less people could shoot me and only KZ could shoot me, but that may be part of how they're trying to be clever. Don't know. Now it's hard to see, but KZ's over there. I wonder who will show up next. I don't know. KZ's gone to the corner down there, which is a typical place for heavies, and yeah, you could take a Russian medium down there and do pretty well, but fairly unusual spot, to be quite honest, for a 430. Oh, look, the mouse is here. Well, perhaps Dogleg D will have a better day today. Let's see how Dogleg D does against old KZ. Old foes meet again. The duel. You know what I'm saying? You again. Yes, let's see if we can... no, he's... Let's see what KZ is going to shoot in there. Is KZ shooting at the TD in the back? No. No, he's going to come up here. Is he shooting the T95? No. No, he's shooting the mouse. What's the mouse do? What's he doing? All right, so we're watching old KZ. Get him, KZ. Get that mouse. Good shot, buddy. Oh, boy. What's the 277 doing? Old Tactical Onion. Is he actually shooting? I don't know if he's shot. We'd have to go to the end and see what kind of damage they do. I wonder what kind of damage his 2 platoon mates will do. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Poor old Westies getting rocked because their 4-3U went over there to farm a mouse. Oh, the mouse is dead. Wow, that's a mystery. Oh, look, the other mouse is here now. And KZ's shooting at him. That's strange, isn't it? What a coincidence. What a coincidence. 2's a coincidence, right? When does it become a trend? I don't know. I don't know. Old Tactical Onion, what's he doing? He's making a tactical drive around. He's certainly not engaging that mouse that Westy is crushing the life out of. Seems like if the 277 would help, they'd really just dominate that mouse, right? I mean, the mouse doesn't seem to be playing very well. No, Tactical Onion's going to... I don't know what he's going to do. What's he doing? He's chilling. He's somebody hit him. That's good. Maybe he was afraid of the TD back there. I don't know. Poor mouse. Old Gerald Culp. I feel bad for him, really. I do. This was actually funny. I think KZ shoots the 23 hit point mouse. I'm not really sure why he even bothered. He should have moved on to more hit points if he was trying to farm. I mean, I guess he wanted to kill. I don't know. But if you're doing this and you got the guy down to less than the maximum hit points you could get, wouldn't you be clever enough to just run away and let him live and go, oh, I wasn't farming. You know, I killed him until he was almost dead. And that is it. I know it's amazing. It's hard for me to believe also that platoon died first again. I just really felt like they had a chance on this one. They were about to make it happen. Oh, man. All right, so let's go see what the damage was at the end with these guys and the platoons. Let's see how they did. We're going to actually look at the last one and this one because I didn't show either one of the last one to you either. But we'll do it right here just for giggles. Let's find out how they did. So we're going to... Let's take a look here. What do we got? We got the first one. What was the team damage? Well, KZ on the first one I showed you got 6,000. Good job, KZ. How'd the rest of his team do? Wow. Oh, I think, as I recall, the bat chat stayed at cap, I'm pretty sure, and then moved around the back. Certainly did not bother old KZ's farming efforts, though, did they? Amazing. And let's see, how did the heavies do over here? Well, one mouse got 0, and okay, that's good. And one mouse got 499. This mouse fired no times, and this guy fired once. And the Centurion, did he fire? Yeah, he had to because he fired once. Good job, man. Good job. Well, let's see. Did our buddies fire? Nope. Oh, once. He fired once. Okay. He blocked some damage. Good on him. The bat chat, 0. All right. Well, maybe that's just happenstance. What happened in the second one that I just showed you? Well, we got 8,000. That's cool. And what happened? Oh, the 277 actually participated. You saw him move along and start to gather up hit points towards the end. And then our other buddy, the 110E5, good old ACY89, how'd he do? Well, he did nothing. He didn't fire. So where is he actually? Let's find out. Let's find out where that dude is. Where is our buddy, the T110, on here? Oh, he's dead. Okay, let's move on to the third example. All right, on this last one, unfortunately, the T49 driven by T23 goes pretty far away from those guys, but I think you'll notice just by watching the minimap exactly what is happening here. We have some of the usual suspects. We've got old Gordon 514 and IS7, good old KZ, this time back in his T95, and a new one has entered the game, Veteral from the clan JM SQC in his Bat Chat 25T, who will go AFK, I believe, and sits on the cab the whole time. And there's our buddy Dogleg and Gerald Culp and AHJ from clan RH, all platooned together and ready to feed the troll. So let's see what happens. Look at the 4201. Gosh, he loves to be up front and just do battle. You know what I'm saying? He really likes to get up there and just take people on. So let's see what happens. He's pushing in very strongly and getting way forward. Now, we almost die here in the T23, what are you doing, man? So he's got this thing 2 marks, so you know he knows what he's doing pretty well with the T49. There's the old F. Hey, look, it's the first guy is the Centurion AX. AHJ has come back for revenge. He is looking to make it happen. He has taken his medium tank and gone down to the brawling zone against an IS-7 and FV. I wonder what's happening down there. You guys think someone's being shot and not being shot? I don't know. We'll look at the results and see what happens. This is actually, I think, a pretty good shot here, as I recall. He's letting it zoom in. Oh, come on, get him. Look at him zinging around. I'm showing you in third person. Maybe if, oh, that's right. He switches over to this poor guy. Uh-oh. All kinds of choices. Oh, I thought that was a different shot. Anyway, what's happening? Oh, geez, I missed it. I guess AHJ has died again first. Somehow old Carbo Killer, the object, actually got the kill. Where are the... Oh, there's the mouse. Oh, look, the mouse is actually in a position where the FV-4201 can shoot him. I wonder how his angling is going on his turret. You guys think he's learned anything from last time? I feel like no. I feel like maybe his turret is straight on to the FV-4201. I wonder who will die next. Guys know who... I don't know. I think it's a mystery. Let's find out. Let's see what happens here. We got one kill on each side. And we will also watch old T-23 have a pretty good game. That's the one I was talking about. He drops... Well, it only ended up being 223. Never mind. That was somebody else. That was one of those combined shots. Uh-oh. Oh, geez. Gerald Culp has died again. One of the first. In a mouse. Managed to die again. Well, I think that's going to really put a damper on the enemy team's chances, don't you guys? Maybe they can make a comeback. Where's the other mouse? Oh, there he is. In the same place. That's strange that he's in the exact same place where the FV can farm him. Huh. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. What do you guys think? Just a coincidence? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh, the other... Goodness gracious. The other mouse died? Well, that is certainly a situation, isn't it, fellas? Oh, boy. I don't even. All right, so let's take a look at the results of this particularly stellar map, or stellar match. How did our enemy friends do this time? Well, let's find out. In the end, old KZ drops 11 grand. 11 grand. So clearly he goes on, once he farms his buddies, to do quite a bit of damage. Well, that's pretty easy since the tier 10 platoon is dead. And that only leaves a couple tier 10s, and they're absolutely wiping the floor with them over there. So one of the things about doing this kind of rigging is you remove the biggest threat from the enemy team for free, and now the enemy team's going to have a really hard time stopping you from farming a bunch more damage. That's just kind of how this game works, really. You lose your top tanks, and more than likely you're having trouble after that. So old KZ drops 11 grand. How do his buddies do? Let's see. Let's find them. They had a good platoon. They must have all had a good game, right? Are we... No, I guess not. Oh, Gordon. Gordon fired twice. Good job, Gordon. And Vetera? None. Hey, where is Vetera right now? Oh, he's on the cap. That's very strange. Very, very strange. How about our buddies? How did our buddies on the enemy platoon go? They were in Maus. Let's see. They have to be up in here. Wait a minute. Where are they? Nope, that's not them. Holy, where are they? I'm going to find them. Oh, there's AHJ. Did he even bother to fire this time? I guess he's bored. He's like, all right, man. We've been at this for an hour. I'm really bored. Can you please just kill me really quickly here so I can go? I don't know. Maybe he dies, leaves, and goes plays a game. Maybe that's the plan here. I don't know. The mouse, how'd he do? Oh. So a mouse that was face-to-face with about 3 or 4 tanks never fired a shot. Okay. And maybe the other mouse did some work. Oh, Gerald Culp. Buddy. He fired once. Holy cow. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? So obviously, I know what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a serious case of trying to rig the game. And as I said before, my problem with it overall is I'm not a fan of cheating to begin with, but when it screws over another 24 people. And I didn't really think about it when I started this video, but as I was looking at the names, I'm like, there's way more than 6 people involved here. Or at least accounts. I have no idea how many people. It seems like at least 3 on the enemy platoon, because they were all sort of moving at once. It seems like it might be hard to make that happen. Could you write a script to do that? I don't know, probably. That would be a lot of effort just for that, and then it would be hard to know which map you're getting to. So I think Living Humans would have had to move those tanks to those positions. As far as the supporting cast, in a couple cases, the bat chat seemed to be AFK, so God knows what was going on there. Could have just been a logged-in computer and bat chat, and it just sits on cap where it spawned. That seemed to happen a couple times. I don't know if the 110E5 ever moved. There was a lot of stuff going on in those two that were incredible, or those three that were incredibly fishy. So here's my bottom line on this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to defend wargaming to some extent. It's a huge game. There's a lot of people. Even in the U.S., it's a pretty big game, not huge. But if you sat around looking at everybody's replay that they sent back and trying to find out who was cheating, because you're going to get a lot of noise or complaints. There's just going to be grumpy people sending sad that they got killed. And just for me to make this video and look at those three replays and stuff, that took me, an hour of research and looking around. And consider that you got somebody working in an 8-hour day. They're only going to get to so many of these things a day. How many people you would have to hire to completely police it? But so that's the defense part. / the guys I talk to on the community team are awesome people, and they are trying to do something, but they don't control the policy. They have nothing to do with the policy. They can only forward the information. So that aside, for me, the point writ large with wargaming is this is a softball, low-hanging fruit. You don't even have to mention this clown's name, but you can make a serious response that talks to the community that says, all right, this happened, and we did X, Y, and Z without getting into specifics, but directly talk to this particular situation, and that does a couple things. It helps fix the mess up with the T-22 where nobody really got in trouble. That leaves the idea in people's head that wargaming doesn't really do anything. That would be my preference on how you handle it. You could do nothing, which I fully expect really nothing other than your current policy. The guy's, I hope, been banned for whatever it's been. I don't know. Personally, Draconian Guido, I'd have deleted his account and sent the guy packing. It's so obvious and blatant. You have to know that that's not something you're supposed to be doing. It's an easy one. I'd also sanction all the people who helped him, but whatever. I don't know. That's draconian. But there needs to be something done, and there needs to be some kind of communication, in my opinion. That's just where I'm coming from on this. Leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you think about that whole thing. It was just gross. It was gross. It was blatant. It was complete disregard for 24 other people who have lives and are trying to play a dang Pixel Tank game, right? So as I say with this a lot, at the end of the day, it's a Pixel Tank game. I know I'm coming off the top rope in a lot of cases on this particular one. I try to not do the drama thing on the channel, but this one really sticks in my craw. It really does. Because when I sit down and it's my leisure time, right? When you do this garbage, you are directly impacting me, and that ticks me off. It does. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You can play bad, you can drive bad tanks, you can drive them stock, you can sit in the back on the red line. And while that's irritating, that's kind of below the noise level. But when you take 6 people, 6 out of 30, and you rig a game that hard and bone over that many people at once, that's irritating. That's irritating enough for me to actually get irritated about a Pixel Tank game. All right, guys. Again, tell me where I'm wrong down below. Let me know. This should be an interesting conversation. We'll see you. I'm just about out of coffee. I think I'm going to go stream for a bit. Take it easy.